I know you thought it wouldn't happen again. I know you thought the Avengers would not assemble. The Justice League was broken. The 7 were separate. Maybe 7's not the best example, but nonetheless, the 3 members of Lights Out are here to deliver you a fire episode of Lights Out. This is episode number 66. Okay, flip that 16 over. It's gonna get a little nasty, just like this episode, baby. Which, of course, is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app and get a deposit match of up to $100 when you deposit at least $10. We'll talk about that later. I want to talk to the gentlemen who are on the screen right now. We got Mr. Top 8. We got He's Finally Not Late. Everybody's in the building, baby. Everybody's in the building. I'm going to start with the guy with the towel on his head who's no longer dead. Light, talk to us, baby. How the hell are you? And welcome back.
I'm doing good. I'm echoey as fuck, and I'm still moving, and I'm hot. But
you honestly don't sound that echoey, by the way.
No, you don't.
Really? I don't sound that bad? Oh, wow,
No.
I sound terrible to myself. Thanks, man. I really needed that boost of confidence today, you know? It's been a lot going on. It's been a rough move, but, you know, it's coming to an end. And, I mean, I'm ready to get back on the podcast full time and start competing in tournaments, too. I went to my first one yesterday. It's a little sloppy, but, I mean, I still won. It's progress. So, yeah.
How's the house?
Yeah, I was going to say, how is the house? Good question.
The house is really good, and it's really big, too. I got a guest room. I got this computer room, and I got my own bedroom, obviously. The living room and kitchen are really nice. Got my own washer and dryer. Got a sweet deal on the washer and dryer. Paid $500 for the washer and dryer. Brand new. It's amazing.
Damn.
And, yeah, it was a great time. And it's just that the top floor, you know, heat rises. It's very hot up here, as you can see. I just bought an air conditioner to put on the top floor. So I'm going to be doing that directly after this podcast. But yeah, the house is really nice.
Love that for you, man. Love that for you. I told everybody he's just getting it together. And when it comes together, it's going to be a beautiful sight. You know, the funniest thing I think, though, is you've been out the game for a while. You've had all these other external issues going on. And how demoralizing does it have to be to your local scene that you can still just come back and just beat the asses and just walk out of there with first month's rent on them?
Who was
my
that
team actually loves me, bro.
I didn't say they don't like you. They just can't beat you.
Grand finals with Blitz Luigi. Leland didn't show up this week. BD being from New York, for people who know who that is, he showed up. He likes to play against top players, I guess. So he saw that I regged and came over from New York, like 2 hours away. So I played him in bracket as well. But my local scene, they usually like having me at the weeklies. They cannot beat me. You're right about that. Very egotistical about that. But they like fighting me and they like trying to beat me, you know? They like learning off me. So I'm very close with my community for Connecticut, at least, because there's a lot of people who have been around since like I was like 16.
Yeah. Nice. Love that for you. Well, glad you're doing well. Glad you're back on the pod. And what a time you picked to return, because our other podcast compatriot just did something insane, amazing. Can't credit him enough. My boy Cosmos just got top 8 at Smash Factor. I'm going to play the applause sound because you deserve the claps, my boy. You deserve the claps, my boy. No doubt about that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the results real quick. We'll just touch on that. Shiny Mark got first. Sonics got second. Gak got third. Shattuck got fourth. Manny and Spargo tied for fifth. Cosmos and Meister tied for seventh. That is your top 8. Cosmos, the only free agent, well, besides Shiny Mark, one of only 2 free agents in this top 8. My boy, talk to us. How did you do it? How did you get
the only free agent that makes content? I can say that.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know, because I am surprised and I'm not surprised, because I took a long break from Smash like Light did too, but because I stopped playing Smash Ultimate after MomoCon because I was busy with like moving and everything, because I moved to Mexico and everything. And not only that, there was a lot of other games that came out that I wanted to play, mainly Multiverses. So I was playing Multiverses for a while. So I stopped playing Smash for like a month, maybe almost a month and a half. And then whenever I got back, I was pretty confused because I was talking about it with my girlfriend too, because she's my mental coach. She was a competitor too. She was an archer, so she knows a lot of stuff about that too. But I was talking with her.
Wait! You're dating Katniss Evergreen, nigga? That's crazy. What?
Bro, I love archery. That's so sick.
That's
Yes,
dope.
it's I tried it once. It's almost impossible. But yeah, I was talking about it with her, and I was telling her like for some reason I came back and I was feeling a lot better like than I did before I stopped playing,
Yeah.
which is strange because usually whenever that happens, I know that I'm not gonna be that much into it, and I know that I'm gonna get pretty back into it pretty quick. But whenever I started playing, I was playing Mr. R because he got here like a week and a half before Smash Factor, and we were playing, and I was playing his snake, and he was like destroying me, but he was destroying me in a way where I was like, okay, I'm getting this destroyed, and obviously I'm playing Snake. Snake is like one of the hardest characters to play against when you come back from a break for a long time, or like when you're just like not in the Smash scene. But I was playing him and I was like, I can see a lot of things that I felt like I couldn't see before. And then like an hour later, I just started destroying him. I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. I feel like I'm just playing a lot better. And then the next day, I went over to City's house, who was the TO Smash Factor, and I was playing with Ramen and Leo, and I was beating both of them. I was like, all right, something's definitely up because I usually don't beat Leo in friendlies like this, but I could just feel like I saw the game differently. And I feel like, contrary to popular belief, I know a lot of people don't like multiverses, but I feel like playing multiverses actually did help me see a different perspective on Smash or just fighting games in general.
Wow.
Because in that game, in all games and all fighting games, you have a block, but in multiverses, you don't have a block button. And I feel like specifically for my character, where like I have very good movement and very good whiff punishing tools, I don't need to be using defensive options as much as I usually did whenever I played characters like Corrin, where I'm slow and people can just run up on me. So I feel like playing multiverses and playing a lot of different characters that didn't have a block button or didn't have like defensive options in general really gave me the perspective of like how I really should be playing Mithra in this game. And I feel like that's honestly what gave me the different perspective in this game. And that's what my girlfriend honestly told me too. And she said that like whenever you take a break, you come back and things feel fresh and you have a new perspective. And I feel like things were just a lot more clear to me. So I feel like when I got to Mexico City, because it was like 2 hours away from me, I played in the pre-local, and it was a wake-up call because it was my first bracket in like a month and a half. And then after I played that Lucas player, I think his name was Raymond, when I almost lost that, I feel like it just kind of sparked like the tournament vibes back to me. And I was like, all right, so I got my like refresher, and not only with that, I also like got back into the tournament mindset with that one set. And then after that, it was just like I'm playing like a completely different player essentially. So on top of that, I just feel like when I played an actual Smash Factor, I had to play a Bayonetta player, and I was down 2-0. But whenever I was down 2-0 and I took the second game or took the third game, I was like, I feel like this is going to be the tournament that I start playing very well after that game, because I feel like everything just like became more clear after that game too. And then whenever I played in top 64 the next day, I feel like I was just playing like myself, like I do in friendlies and playing like I do when I'm at home. And I was actually very nervous to play against Big Boss because I played him at the pre-local and I just destroyed him. But that's one of the things that I feel like I stress about the most is whenever I play somebody before the tournament and then I have to play them again. If I beat them, I feel like I usually am at a disadvantage because they have more things to look over than I do.
Yeah.
So after I did pull out that set, pretty much all of my nerves for the entire tournament were gone. So when I went into playing Spargo, my hands weren't shaking. I had no like anxiety at all. I wasn't nervous at all. So like I was like, if I can feel like this the entire time and I can play like I was the day before, there's like no way he can beat me, because I feel like I'm playing like one of the best players in the room right now, and I'm playing probably the best character in the game against Cloud. So and I ended up beating him, and then
gave a little pop off too. You gave a little pop off.
Yeah, dude, because like I said, I had like 3 or 4 people there cheering for me, but the entire crowd was against me because obviously it's Spargo in Mexico against like a foreigner essentially. So
you're Mexican now.
I mean, I'm Mexican, Japanese, black now. But
let's figure it out.
He's a walking rainbow. But
I didn't defend against Gact. I'm not Mexican enough.
But I stopped claiming you when you lost to Gact, respectfully.
That's tragic. But
he's not from America.
After I beat Spargo, that felt very, very good. It felt very, very good, especially because the last time I played Spargo at Collision, I feel like a lot of the games were very close and I was playing very well. I just couldn't really close any of them out. And I feel like one of the things that I also realized too is that I have to stop taking so much advice from multiple people. Because obviously Zeke is my coach now, and he's been helping me a lot. But even when he was helping me, I was taking a lot of advice from other people, and I feel like it was kind of just contradicting a lot of my game plans. So whenever I stopped, not only contradicting my game plans, but also just essentially making me overthink a lot of scenarios that would happen in game and make me just overthink while I'm playing and make me play slower overall. So I feel like whenever I just go into it with a fresh mindset and like a simple game plan and not be so nervous, I can play like myself. And I feel like that's what happened at Smash Factor overall. The one thing that I am very proud of is that I feel like in general, I've had 3 mental roadblocks. When one of them was like my first set of day 2 is always a set that I can't really get into because I feel like I'm a player that usually scales up. So whenever I can play easier players into harder players, then I feel more comfortable. But day 2, you immediately play like a top 50 player. So I feel like it's harder for me to get into a set like that. So to beat somebody like Big Boss on a day like that was a very good personal win for me. The second one was Spargo because he beat me like the last 2 or 3 times that we played. And I feel like I'm one of the players that should be beating him because of my character and the way that I play. So I'm happy that I actually beat him. And the third one was my top 8 qualifier because I feel like I always struggle whenever I get to top 8 qualifiers, which is why I haven't been in top 8 for a really long time, which is why I got 9th like the last 4 or 5 tournaments or 4 or 5 majors that I've been to. So to beat Big D in the game 5 fashion that I did also made me feel very proud of myself overall. So I feel like just the entire weekend, even though I didn't get to close it out against Sonics, being able to feel the top 8 atmosphere and being in top 8, all those mental hurdles I jumped over really did make the weekend like a 100% victory for me.
I love that, man. I'm glad you took the time to explain in such detail. We were rooting for you the whole time. We were going crazy. We was letting Marcus know, like, look, this is our guy. And our guy is putting in that work, okay? I even called Light, and Light was like, yo, what happened? And I was like, Cosmos just made top 8. He was like, what? Who'd he beat? I was like, Big D. He's like, hell yeah, get some revenge from me. Because remember, Big D too did that. Gamo, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that was awesome. Like, how did you feel about Cosmos breaking through again and getting that top 8?
You have very good pop-offs.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I usually don't pop off. So like whenever I do pop off, I get surprised at myself.
Yeah, no, you don't pop off a lot at all. I was literally like, while you were talking and I'm listening to you, I was watching your Spargo ending and when you down aired Sonics, which was so raw, by the way.
That was crazy.
Yeah, bro.
I saw the future, bro.
Yeah, you have really good pop-offs. Honestly, I'm really proud of you, man. I know, I mean, me and you both have not been playing the game a lot lately, but I think obviously it goes 2 ways. Either you have a lot to pick up, or that does happen where you do see the game from a different perspective. You also see it with less stress, because you're not like playing the game every day like, oh, I have to do good,
Yeah.
So it's like all that time you took away to do other things that you were actually enjoying and then coming back and then performing like that. And not just like a one-time performance because you did amazing in the pre-local as well. I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, I don't know where you're going to go from here, if you're going to play occasionally or a lot, but like, you obviously found something, and I hope it stays with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, and it's funny that you mentioned that because that's something that my girlfriend also mentioned too. Because she said like whenever you play a lot or practice a lot, or whenever you are in the competition atmosphere too much, your vision of whatever you are in can get clouded too much, which is why you don't want to spend too much time in that sphere, and you want to always take a step away, which is why like a reset day is always important, or just taking breaks while you're practicing is always important. So I feel like I'm not going to be playing a lot, and like even before I wasn't playing too much, but I was playing every single day. So I'm probably not going to be playing every single day, also because I have other things that I need to do too. Like I want to be a lot more consistent with content. I want to play other games like Multiverses and the Riot Fighting game whenever it does come out. I will try Rivals whenever it does come out. So I feel like just inherently, I'm not going to be focusing too much on like playing Smash every single day because I will have other things to do. But still like staying mentally vigilant on like the competitive scene, like making sure I'm still thinking about the game consistently is, I think, what is probably the most important thing and what will keep me fresh whenever I am at tournaments.
I
It
think
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that's very well said.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you should do. Honestly, I don't know about for you. I feel like sometimes when you play the game like too much, and like not when you play the game too much, when you're like relearning the game, I feel like sometimes that's way more fun than playing the game every day. Like when you like take a break and you're like, oh, I kind of have to relearn how to do these things. It's like, okay, this is a lot more fun than like just being like playing the way you play every day. Because when you play the way you play every day, sometimes you're like, oh, okay, this game's a little whack. But yeah,
Right, Void?
He's spitting. Void agrees too. We're all popping off. So good stuff. And keep up that same energy, my boys. Now, look, that was one of the highlights of that top 8 because let me tell you, there are other players there. And boy, it was rough. I'm not going to lie to you. Look, Shiny Mark, congratulations on winning, okay? Congratulations on winning, Shiny Mark. You versus Sonics. Maybe not, a blockbuster.
You know how many timeouts there were in Grands?
No, because I had to stop watching. I wasn't there.
Watching too.
I wasn't there.
Stop watching. Yeah.
See, it was tragic because I left after I lost, and I had to come back for the award ceremony, and I came back right before Grands reset, so I had to wait the entire Game 5 Grands reset.
That sucks.
And there was at least 2 timeouts in the reset.
There were 3 in total, I think, in the entire set. So yeah, congratulations to Shiny Mark. Can we start talking shit about him now? Like,
I was gonna say, like, there's a couple, Shiny Mark, obviously, congrats. I like Shiny Mark. Manny, the Steve who robbed MK Leo and got himself 5th place at Smash Factor, was also there. I would say that top 8 does have some names worth discussing. Shattuck made a crazy comeback on Spargo. I mean, game 4 was disgusting.
That shit was crazy.
Lots to talk about there.
I didn't see the game 4. I tuned in on game 5, and I literally tuned in to freaking Shattuck full hop empty landing and reading a roll to forward smash it. I was like, that was like, how much confidence do you have in the last hit scenario like that?
I don't know, because if you miss or you hit shield, you die. So like the fact that he knew that he was gonna hit that shit, he was literally God mode for that one.
Bro, it was so good. Like, it was just such an amazing play. Like, fully deserved, It's obviously not easy to beat Spargo. And Shattuck has been on the top for, like, since the past season. So, like, watching those 2 play is amazing. But, there's so much to talk about with this top 8. Shiny Mark, he is an amazing player. I'm not going to hold you. He's obviously so freaking good.
Godlike.
But holy shit. Thank God he did good, because now I could stop acting like Pikachu is not top 5. Did we see this shit?
Top 5?
Yes, he's always been top 5. We got peer pressured and bullied into taking him out because he hasn't been doing good for years because ESAM decided to get a life, which good job to him because none of us did it. And now someone else is playing Pikachu full time. He comes to this country like 3 times. Do you see? Not even went to Mexico. Yeah, he came to America like twice. But bro, he played amazing, and he did so much bullshit. There was one point where I think Sonics hit him off stage on the right side, took his jump, and he did
They both made it back.
He skull bashed twice to the other side of the stage, even though his first one was like at ledge length, and still be back. I'm like, bro, you had no jump. How'd you get to the other side of the stage?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like this character, they were air battling, air Marvel.
Yeah, bro. Both of them are insane, because there was the one time where they were both at 0%, and Shiny Mark tried to edge guard him, and then he lost his double jump in the bottom blast zone of Battlefield, so it's even lower than usual. And Sonic's double jump forwarded him. So they were both in the bottom blast zone with no double jump, and they both just upbeat without a double jump and made it back. And I was next to Mutace, and he was like, "That's fucking insane. I'm dead 5 times over." I'm like, "Yeah, me too, bro."
Bro, they're not even letting my upbeat go off.
Yeah,
bro, like it was so crazy. And you know what? We're talking about it like it's crazy in a good way. No, that set was lame as fuck. Let me tell you,
it was.
But like, the shit that their characters are able to do, I'll be real with you. I think Pikachu's better than Sonic. I've always thought it. But I was bitched into a corner. That corner specifically where my monitor is. I was put there because everyone was like, this character's
That's a nice monitor.
good.
It's curved.
It's broken. It broke during the
Oh
move.
shit!
So is Pikachu.
That's what happened to mine too.
That's why I keep my characters broken. No, but that sucks, by the way. It really does suck. But,
It does.
Yeah, no, but Pikachu was freaking doing shit that like we all knew he could do. Of course, I will say, Shiny Mark had the factor, and this is not to take anything away from him. I think he's amazing. I think his character's stupid as fuck. But he also had the factor of like, wow, this character's reappearing again after how many years because our only top representative was Esam, and he hasn't played in a minute. So it's like people aren't playing proper neutral versus Shiny Mark, and he's getting away with a lot of pressure scenarios and a lot of stuff that like people don't know how to deal with. Like, for example, he lands on your shield with Nair and everyone's full hopping out, and he's literally just reading the full hop with up air because he knows that people want to get away with him. And like the real thing to do there is just shield grab it, or if he lands on the other side of you, attack him because he knows he has all the pressure, but you have to reversal him when it feels like that. So it's just a lot of stuff that you have to remember fighting against Pikachu that it's going to be really hard to remember because you're fighting a top Pikachu who's putting all this pressure on you, and it's just too hard to like you keep up with, you know? It's going to take time to get used to fighting him again, but like regardless, that character is really good, and Shiny Mark showed it. Like when he wasn't being, actually, I'm not gonna lie, he was being lame 24/7. Like even
definitely
Sonics, but like that's what his character does. His character gets away with being lame, and it's not only lame; you take 80% when he's not being lame.
Yeah. And I mean, I played Shiny Mark at the pre-local, and I was pretty confident because I always believe that I'm one of, if not the best player in the game against Pikachu, because I played Isam a lot in multiple games, and I played Pikachu in both Smash 4 and in Ultimate. So I was like, I feel pretty confident playing against Pikachu, which is why I beat Isam multiple times. But when I played Shiny Mark at the pre-local, I felt like I was playing a completely different character. Like I was playing Smash Ultimate Deluxe Pikachu, because I've never seen Pikachu play or move like that. He was doing a lot of weird movement options that I just could not catch on to in a 3-game time span. So after playing him like that, I got like double 2-stock. I might have got triple 2-stock. I'm not entirely sure, because it was also really hard to kill him. Like he's a really hard character to hit whenever you're in whenever he's at high percent, because he's just running away. And while he's running away, he hurtbox shirts. Like he becomes a pancake the entire time. So I'm not surprised after playing him that he did so well at Smash Factor, because he was probably the hardest person, because I knew that I was playing very well too. I was playing very, very well. And he made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing actually. So I wasn't surprised that he did so well at Smash Factor. I'm still very happy that he won, because I still like watching Pikachu play. I don't like watching Pikachu play against Sonic, because that's really boring, but I like watching Pikachu play. And I feel like it was a long time coming for him, because he is one of the grinders like Sonics of Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little low key, but there were actually 2 top 8 Pikachu performances. At Cirque 3.5, Esam was there. He got I think he got 5th before he had to DQ and go home or something. The tournament, of course, was won by Zap. Shouts to Zap. But I mean, even though it's obviously way lesser competition, still just saying, I mean, it's kind of a good weekend if you're a Pikachu fan, for sure. And that character doesn't seem to indeed be a little busted. But some notable shout outs I want to give at Smash Factor 2. My GOAT, even though he was robbed, Leo getting 9th place was cool. Chad got 9th. That was very unexpected. I can't believe Chad played so well. Good for him, man. Nice to see him back doing big things. Asimo 13th, courtesy of Guihu, the Kirby player. Put him in losers. That's pretty insane. So he's
very good.
Yeah. And then Zama was there. I didn't think Zama was actually there until he popped up on stream. And as soon as I clicked over, I saw him getting spiked at like 20 and dying to MK Leo's Joker. So he got 17th.
Yeah, that clip fits, that whole match fits into like a minute clip, bro. It's just wild.
It's pretty nuts, actually. So Smash Factor as a whole, awesome tournament. I'm sure we all feel the same sentiment that sorry we couldn't attend this year, but full intentions to attend next year for sure. City and the crew does a great job. So
I lost my passport.
He did lose his passport. He's not capping.
I'm not going to talk about this.
And I just got called into my other job, so I couldn't travel. So good stuff. But yeah, shout outs again to Shiny Mark. I think I saw him make a tweet that was like the first, like for his region and for Pikachu and for himself, first huge victory. So that's awesome for Mark. And despite the grand finals being a little lame, a little slow, it's how you have to play that matchup. He had a lot of really entertaining and good matches too, and really showcased that character, who I think is going to be a demon going forward. But there was something else that came out of Smash Factory. Oh, do you have something to say, Blake?
I was gonna say shout out to Gak, by the way, because obviously we know he did good, but beating 2 sorties to make top 8, especially Corrin, is not an easy thing to do with Ness.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very hard thing to do. So Gak played really well this weekend. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't expect me to come back with Japan love, huh? You didn't expect that shit, did you?
I did not, because we were actually about to switch over to some Japan slander. What am I talking about?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's talk about the
It's
first.
time for me to leave.
The first event I want to talk about. Sumi Bato took place. You're probably thinking, well, EE, you restreamed this event. It was a good event. It was a good event. I enjoyed it. However, I would like to point something out. Dorigimi won this event, which is awesome. Raru, you cheeser, takes second place. Ron third, level 1, Shirayuki, Yamadi, Yoshidora, and Suna. That was your top 8, right? You know who was at that tournament and didn't get top 8? Miya. He got 13th place at this tournament.
Damn, he was there?
He was there, and I barely could tell. He lost in pools to a Falco player. So Miya gets 13th, right? And I'm thinking, oh man, that's really like, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in that situation? And then we go to the other Japanese tournament that took place Sunday evening in American time. Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. Let me find it. Now this one was won by Tama P.
That's the same one.
I got it. This one was won by Tama P. Shuton got second. Fui got third. Hudo, Gapachi, TG, and the rest of the cast. But you know what? Even further down than 13th, you got to scroll all the way to 49th to see Hurt. Hurt got 40.
He was there too.
He got 49th at this event.
God.
Good grief. So my question comes in this form. Last weekend of rankings, you're solidified, locked in. Miya, number 2 for sure at that time. In my opinion, probably number 2. Hurt, 3 or 4, it's debatable. But I think that debate became a little bit more open with that 49th place. He lost to a DK. He got Cosmos. He lost to a DK in Japan.
You can't call it Cosmos now. He lost. He got Mutace. Mutace lost to a DK.
He got Mutace.
I wasn't going to say it, but technically he got Light.
Oh, dang, that's true.
That's my last tournament.
He got Light and Cosmos and Mutace.
That's crazy, bro.
Everybody.
The triple bang, man. That shit was crazy, bro. Do you think it was wise for them to compete during the last weekend of rankings when they pretty much had their spots sewed up? I don't know how much the 13th and the 49th will actually play a part and affect them, but do you feel like they should have just stayed home and chilled? What do you think?
Wait, last weekend of rankings?
This is the last weekend of the rankings.
This is last weekend for LumiRank.
The first half?
Yeah. I mean, it's just 6-month periods now.
Oh shit, man! I'm okay. Cool. I'm coming back at the right time. But I mean, I don't think it's wrong for them to compete. I actually think it's a pussy tactic to not compete because you're like, I'm in such a good position. I shouldn't go to any more. Just go to tournaments, man. Unless you're actually feeling like you're playing bad, you just go to tournaments, you know. But otherwise, I mean, it happens. You don't see it happen too much in Japan, but it's because we don't live there. You know, we're not like hovering over every result they get, but like you see it happen here. You see me get random losses, Fargo get random losses, all these people get random losses. Gods can bleed, bro. You know, it just happens.
True.
You're not gonna play your best every tournament, and there are other good players out there. The thing that separates other top players from like high level players is like top players are obviously better, but high level players still fucking know what you're doing. If you're not on point, they're gonna beat you. You know. And it's like, it's not surprising when they do beat you. It is an upset and it is hype, but like, they're not that drastically lower than you, especially in a game so volatile like Smash. It's like, if they get a few right reads and you're just a few like steps off, they're going to beat you. And it's not that surprising.
Damn.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's perfectly said. There's nothing honestly else to say about that. I feel like, especially whenever you consider that most of the top players essentially have this as their job, and it's like they are essentially like, if you have one bad placement and let's say you're in contention for either rank number 3 or rank number 4, and like it's kind of close. If you're a top player and you're already sponsored and you already have a team and everything, then it's like, if you go and you get 49th and you get 4th on the ranking system, your team's not going to drop you. So like, if you don't go, it's just because you want to stay like overly prideful, and like that's not going to get you anywhere, and that's going to stop you from being number one, because you are going to get better from going to tournaments, and like the drive to compete, whether you can be ranked number one or ranked number 50 is what is going to separate you from the other people. So if I agree with that, and like I feel like there's nothing else to really say about that.
Okay, I have another question. So how far? Okay, so Zamba won Genesis, right? And then so from there on out, he didn't really attend stuff, and when he did attend stuff, it was so, but he got a couple wins, like, so. Shiny Mark just won Smash Factor, okay? Which win do you weigh more, and which one do you think will have a greater bearing on the rankings?
I think
Genesis was a P tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the thing is, are we talking about like individual or like?
I'm just like talking about like what they've done this season. Would you put Zamba ahead of Mark or Mark ahead of Zamba?
I'd put Zamba ahead of Shiny Mark, but but I think Shiny Mark's gonna be ahead for the sole purpose that every ranking we've seen the flaw that the less tournaments you go to, and like the more, like if you have like 3 good events but you've been to like no tournaments, they're gonna put you like at like pretty high up. We've seen it in Mars a bunch of times. Like Mars a lot of times doesn't go to a lot of tournaments, but Mars, he performs pretty well when he shows up. And it's like, oh, this dude's like number 20 on the PGR and the Luma ranking. And it's like, what the fuck? Dude went to 3 tournaments, Whereas Zamba, he has good results, but he got shafted a lot this season, So, I mean, Shiny Mark, I don't know if he's going to tournaments at home because I don't keep up with that shit. But I mean, when he came here, he's done pretty good. And I mean, he won a major, so I think he's going to be pretty high on the ranking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know much about what Shiny Mark has done because he hasn't really gone too much in general. I don't even know if he was at Genesis.
Well, people are telling me he just now has eligible for the rankings with this last event.
Are you serious?
Awesome. That's actually awesome to be eligible and get a dub. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
That's
Mark.
funny.
That's awful, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's cool.
I mean, it's also not his fault because he's not sponsored. So the fact that he's not sponsored, like he can't go to as many tournaments as he would want to, and I'm pretty sure that's why he's also advertising that he's a free agent because obviously he wants to go to a lot of more tournaments. So hopefully he does get a team that can help him go to events like that. Even if not, he definitely got a bag from Smash Factor because it was like a $30,000 pot. So you'll definitely see him at more stuff now, I assume.
I wonder if I'm going to be top 10 this season. I honestly thought MomoCon was like the last event. I stopped competing for 2 months.
I wonder if I'm going to be top 50 this season because I got 9th 5 times in a row.
But I legitimately thought like after MomoCon, I was like, okay, the next season is good, bro. I probably would have went to a bit more stuff. Like, damn, this is weird.
I think you'll squeeze in at top.
I think he'll be 9th.
I think you'll be 10th, 11th at worst.
Don't do that to me, bro.
11th at worst, but I think you'll be 10th.
I hope you're number 11 so you can know how it feels.
No, I've never been outside the top 10, bro.
That'd be crazy.
If I'm outside the top 10 now, it's literally because lack of attendance. Because my results this year have been pretty they've
been good,
not bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
I got like a Miya win. I got like 1,000 Zamba wins. I got wins on everyone this season, bro.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
just know that I'm not gonna be U plus 70 anymore. See you, Jim.
No, me plus 10. But I was gonna say, when we were talking about the losing to other player thing, like how the Japanese players got upset. I don't know how it applies in Japan because I think Japan is a lot more dedicated scene than America. But I always had the thought process that in America, you're always going to see more upsets towards the end of the game. And it's for the reason that I think at the end of the game, people who have been at the top get lazier. Like if you've been at the top for 5 years, you get lazier. Whereas high-level players who have never been at the top, never had a sponsor, all that stuff, they are still grinding really hard, and you're going to start to see them become top players at the end because they're still grinding and because top players are getting lazier. And that could come off as a John, but I personally have experienced it myself in Smash 4 when I was beating a bunch of top players. And I was a good player, but a lot of these players were getting lazier, a lot of them were like, this game's dead. I've been the top player for 7 years, whatever. And I think that happens in this game too. And I think that's why when new games come out, you typically see the same top players at the top again. Tweak is probably going to get more upset this year or whatever, but Tweak has literally said it, you'll see me in the next match game because, he's over it. A lot of people are over it, So I don't think that stands for Japan, but I do think that's a thing for America, or at least North America. So yeah, just a thought I had.
No, that's fair. It was a crazy weekend, man. I don't know if a lot of people like saw any of this coming. I don't know if you guys would have bet on Hurt getting 49th, Miya getting 13th,
and Zero getting 128th.
We'll talk about that momentarily. I don't think a lot of people would have bet on his ass showing up to something. But you know what you can bet on, friends? You can bet on our friends over at Prize Picks, because Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members, including you. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike those other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you versus the numbers. So if you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has you covered every single week. From lowering select player stats on Tuesdays to help your lineup hit on Friday. Okay, listen, if you're betting on Bronny James, you might need it. But get your entry fees back on losing lineups, because guess what? That's what Prize Picks does for you. They work for the people. I made my first $10 deposit and received the instant $10 bonus. You know what I did with that $10? I turned it into $100. You know what I turned that $100 into? A whole lot of nothing, because I don't know when to stop. But it don't matter, baby. I can't stop when Prize Picks got all the drops I need. So make sure you download the Prize Picks app today and use code LIGHTSOUT for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's code LIGHTSOUT on Prize Picks for your first deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy when you pick Prize Picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should tell them how Prize Picks actually finagled your ability to afford your down payment on your new house.
I was going to say,
what the fuck does finagle mean?
Finagle? You got what's the word I'm looking for?
You ShamWowed it.
You got kerfuffled, my man.
Yeah,
Kerfuffled.
You got kerfuffled. You got cosmic kerfuffled. I was gonna say, do you guys even? Well, I know you only do in Vegas, but like, do you guys don't gamble, right? I'm the only one here who actually gambles.
I mean, there was a time where because I still also live in Ohio too, with so honest, but like back in Christmas, I went to the casino like twice, and I was positive.
You're a terrible gambler in the sense that you do not know how to stop.
No, you don't know when to tell me to stop. All right, no, you told me to keep going. When I wanted to stop, I was up like 3,000. You're like, no, bro, keep going. I'm like, keep going. I'm up.
No.
No, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Boyd probably told you to keep going.
No, he didn't. No, here's exactly what happened. Here is exactly what happened. I was up 3K, and I was like, damn, I'm up 3.1K. But like the table was hot, and Light was like, bro, you never stop when the table is hot. Why would you stop? You're up 3K, but you keep going. I'm like, I don't need to keep going. I'm up 3K. I'm a smasher. I'm broke. That's me winning 2 tournaments right there.
Okay, this is gambling 101. You don't stop when the table's hot, but you set a limit to the side so you know when to stop. So if you have 3,100 and the table's hot, you play with another $300 to $400, and then you're willing to lose that, and you put the other money to the side.
Spoken like a true gambler.
Thanks so much for the support.
Your bitch ass kept going because you didn't know when to stop.
Nah, and you was like, nah, bro, you can get it back. We can get it back. We both down now. Let's try to get it back.
I got your ass right now. I definitely told you to keep going. You're right, but I always say cast money to the side. You cast it to the side. What you're comfortable with losing is what you play with.
Spoken like a true gambler.
That's how you gamble. Catch me on Prize Picks, baby. But bro, anyway, let's talk about.
I gambled in Ohio casino, and I was positive. All right, I was positive 1,000, and I left with that shit.
Yes, you did.
You wouldn't have left with shit if I was there.
Dead ass.
All right. I don't even remember where I was going with this. You know what? Cirque, let's talk about, okay, so there's 2 things to cover. I mentioned briefly, Cirque 3.5 took place last weekend. Shouts again to Zap for winning that event. That's awesome. Happy for Zap. He's really coming into his own, won a coin box, then wins a IRL tournament with some good competition. Good for him. Now Cirque, a little bit of a controversy has surrounded this event. Well, what are you talking about? We know for a fact that you know controversies, right? Well, I do know some of them, and there's some of them I stay away from, but we're going to talk about it because you know how we like to do. Zero, I'll put it on the screen right here, made a tweet, and here it is. Yes, I went to a Smash tournament. The TOs of CFL are based. Everyone was really nice too. Very fun time. I'm not really a Smash player anymore, so I'm not looking to really be out there, but I am welcome some places. And this is obviously the new Zero right here, says he's a boxer, a gym guy, and still had a little bit of smash left in him too, despite getting, I think, 65th. So now this was interesting to me because as like this happened, some people were taking some selfies with them, and it seemed like, obviously, like, people at the tournament's gonna be a little different. The reaction in person than online. We all know that's just how it goes. It's just two different things. But the thing that I found interesting about this was then the next day, I think it was the next day or like that Monday of, they released the trailer for Cirque 4. And that trailer looked pretty hype. It's going to have, they listed MKLeo, they listed Spargo, they listed Hurt, Kananabe for some reason. And I was just like, okay.
That's fucked up. That's
they actually baited me because I saw the trailer and I saw Fox. But oh shit, I mean, of course that's going to be there.
I'm sorry. No disrespect to Kananabe, but he lost his aura, bro. I don't know what happened to bro. He's just a 9 to 5 worker.
That's my goat, bro.
He's a 9 to 5 worker now, bro. He used to be that. I don't know what happened. But anyway.
I don't know why he changed his hairstyle. His hair was really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. He lost his aura. But anyway. And then like I remember I saw that tweet and I was like, oh, because like we've been to the last two Cirques, 2 and 3, great tournaments. They were run pretty efficient. They were fun. They were fun events. So I was like, I remember I dropped a comment like, yo, peak incoming. And I didn't really think about this, but like a lot of people were replying like how they had an issue, hey, by the way, we know that Zero was at the tournament. What's up with that? Wanting some explanations, wanting some answers. Of course, the neck bearded, deodorant allergic to Smashers found my tweet and was like, you're disgusting for that. I'm like, nigga, I'm talking about the trailer, bro. Like, what's wrong with you? But that's par for the course. Nobody's surprised about that. Get your shower game up, niggas. But what happened was they actually issued a statement saying, I guess they issued one statement that was like kind of like a little heavy-handed, deleted that, and then they issued another statement that was going into more detail, like, okay, you know what? We'll take some accountability here. It wasn't the right call. And which I agree, it was not the right call because I understand, like, maybe he showed up late and decided to enter. Something like that, I think you like legitimately have to poll your scene, make sure everybody's cool with that. I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, no matter how you feel about it, it's just a common sense type of thing. You know what I mean? So I think that was definitely a whiff from there. I know CFL is wild and crazy. They do a lot of crazy shit. It is what it is. But definitely, you got to make sure you have your pulse on the community and the people for certain things like that. So obviously, the event went off without incident or anything like that, which is cool. But at the same time, yeah, a little more common sense should certainly be applied. I don't think somebody who's generally ousted from the community should be at your events. It's just 1+1. It is what it is. If you chill with O0 on the side, outside of the event, whatever, man, that's cool. That's your business. Do your thing. But at the event, I just don't. It just, from a TO perspective, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Just my 2 cents. What do you guys think?
You go first, Cosmos.
There's not much to say. I thought
not much
shit all the time. It just feel like some things should just be obvious at this point. It should be obvious that if you let somebody like Zero at your tournament, you're going to get like public backlash.
Yeah, it's gonna breed backlash.
That is like what you said, 1+1 equals 2. It's pretty obvious. So whenever people just go against the obvious, I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like, what you should be doing, especially if you want to be like known as a major or like a big, like a premier major. And it's like, I went to Cirque too. It was also a very, very good event. I'm very excited to go to the next one too. Kiki's a very cool guy. But like
they run
everything,
good events.
Yeah. It was ran very well. So I'm glad that it's getting the spotlight that it is now. But I'm just like, I don't know if they're like allowing Zero to go for like more exposure whenever they wanted the trailer or anything like that.
They clarified that he won't be at Cirque 4. They clarified that.
Yeah, but like still, it's like, what's the point of in allowing him? You name it Cirque 3.5, so it's still branded as like your tournament's brand. So it's like, what's the point of allowing something to essentially taint your tournament branding like that when you are trying to hold like a really big major like that? And it's like, I feel like that is also 1+1 equals 2. So when people don't do things like that, I'm just like, I don't know what to expect at this point. And I don't know. I'm still gonna go to Cirque. I don't give a fuck what people say about it. It was a great event, and there's gonna be top talent there. I want to win, so I'm gonna go. But it just is what it is. Just don't do something like that again. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Wasn't a smart play, not at all. but I'm still gonna go to Cirque 4. I'm not gonna lose out on money because of that. Because like
Just 3K pop bonus.
I want to fight good competition and fight good money. And honestly, I'll be real. It's not a smart play, but I'm not gonna act like I care. Like it's just I'm not.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just not a big deal for me because I wasn't there. If you were there, I can completely see why that was a big deal for you, especially if that makes you uncomfortable. You shouldn't have to be uncomfortable in a space that you should be comfortable in. I agree with that. So definitely that shouldn't happen again. I will say, I'm happy to see the dude doing well. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm a big believer. I see all like the hate tweets, like pedophile, whatever. I'm just a big believer that no one is past redemption. I like to see people grow from their like mistakes and people get better. And the dude seemed like he's been doing better, so I hope he has been. I mean, the dude's jacked, no homo. The dude's hot. Like the dude worked out. He looks real good, man. Shit crazy. But bro, come on. Are we gonna act like we didn't think it at one point? The dude was big as fuck at one point. Now he looks like a Chad, bro.
I never said he looked hot. I can tell you that. Never
Light
once
is
thought that.
Mexican and gay, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey man, and everybody's welcome here, no matter what you identify as. I don't care.
Yeah, no, but like for real, on like a more serious side, I mean, I hope the dude's doing better. I hope everyone who has gone through something's doing better. I don't like to just hate on people and say 10 years down the line or 3 years down the line they're the same way. I want to hope everyone grows from their experience and becomes better, Our community is not a very welcoming community to any kind of mistakes, even small ones, obviously. And I'm not saying we should be, but like, I just hope when you get penalized for something like that, you learn from those things.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Cause my mindset is just like, okay, like again, for the event's sake, it's just not a good idea. Like for the publicity, it's just not worth it. And that's not knocking zero. Like he went to the event, they allowed him to compete, so he competed. Okay, it happened with no incident. Cool. But I'm saying like, the follow up and the backlash and stuff like that is going to be there. And if you're trying to continue to grow this into something, an event that I think actually has a lot of potential because, unfortunately we are seeing a lot of majors close down. So it's nice to see other majors kind of rise up a little bit. Patchwork's a good example of that. Cirque can be a good example of that. So you want to just maintain like as much, just as much positivity towards your event as I think is possible. This was not like something that was conducive to that, just given the circumstances surrounding it. But again, I'm the same way. Hope Zero's doing well outside of the community. Like, dude, like go live a life outside of Smash and, do your thing. And hopefully it's without incident. That's the best way to put it. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit because obviously it was a hot topic that's even still on Twitter. A lot of people were chiming in on that. So of course we wanted to give our 2 cents as well. But I'll tell you what, I'm ready to talk about the big issue, the big thing. I'm not talking about surprising placings. I'm not talking about who was at what tournament. All right. I'm talking. No. Don't do that. No. Don't do that. No. Don't do that. Come back right now. You come back right now. Cosmos, I don't care what country you're in. You started out as an American. Damn it. You got to have something to say. Our former president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, victim of an attempted assassination by some rogue wedgie dealer who has now been neutralized. The former president of the United States, Big 45, was shot at. But as you can see, Secret Service was able to get him to safety. Unfortunately, there were 2 critically injured, I believe. Someone lost their life. Terrible stuff. Hate to see that. But the fact that we live in times where a former U.S. president can be an attempted assassination takes place is insane to me. Okay, even 50 Cent, many men. Well, there's a lot of men right there trying to keep that nigga alive because that was crazy what went down there. What did you guys think about the attempted assassination of former President Trump? Big 45.
What did you think about the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, Big 45?
Me?
Yeah, you.
It was heinous. It's unforgivable. I think one of the things that concerned me the most is the psychotic tendencies of some people. Listen, I understand that, me personally, I don't wish death on people. Like, what I'm saying? That's just not me. Whatever judgment you're going to get, you're going to get. It ain't up to me. But I think people who are saying it was staged are insane. Dude, someone lost their life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is terrible. Like, what about that was staged? I think you just have some serious Trump derangement syndrome if you really think that shit was staged. And somebody might say, oh, who thinks it's staged? A lot of people, bro. A lot of people. That's crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like Trump, he's a crazy ass dude. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. Dude's definitely a little cuckoo upstairs, you know what I'm saying? But I think the fact that we're living in a time where that's gonna be documented in a history book for children and grandchildren to read is insane. Put the guns down.
I mean, yeah, that's true. A lot of this stuff is history that will be in history books, actually. It's true. And it's crazy that a president was shot in our time period, like shot at. That's insane to us because, like, it's not something that happens so often. That shouldn't be something that happens so often. I mean, I don't have a lot of stances on it. I'm happy he didn't get killed because I also don't believe in, like,
that would have been even worse. If that would have been insane, dude. I don't even want to think about the ramifications of that.
Yeah, bro, that would have been freaking insane. Like I said, I'm like you. I don't really believe in like death, like any type of death. I believe in redemption, you know, and I believe in you getting punished, prison for life or whatever. I just don't like people killing or playing God or whatever and just deciding the factor of other people's lives. I hate that shit. So it really sucks to see that. I'm happy he's alive. So sad for the family who lost one of theirs. That is
terrible. He's a firefighter, apparently. Firefighter.
And I just hate content that comes from serious shit like that. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hate our thumbnail this week. Like, bro, I just hate it. I don't like content from such like heinous things like that. It's just crazy to me. But like, yeah, no, I'm happy he's alive. That's all I can really say about it.
How about you, Mr. Defector?
One more thing, my friend said it, and he's more into politics than I said. I don't think it was a setup. That sounds really fucking stupid to me. I also think it's crazy to decide that within like the first 30 seconds of it happening, to say that it was like not real. My friend said, if you think this was like fake, then you're like politically shot. And I was like, I honestly kind of agree with that for the fact it's like, you didn't even give it time. You just immediately assumed it was fake. Why? Because he lived? Like, it's just stupid. People were saying it's fake because he lived. Like, there was a lot of people saying that. It's insane to me.
Well, Mr. Mexico?
All I really have to say is that I'm glad I'm living in Mexico right now. Like,
what the fuck does that even? All
right.
There's nothing else I have to say. I don't want to comment on it because I don't really like talking about politics.
Do you think assassination attempts are okay?
Absolutely not.
Okay, no. Nigga, that's the comment you had to give. That's it, bro. That's it. I don't care what political side you sit on. You have every right to sit on that. You have every right to believe what you want to believe. But let's all agree, stop the violence, bro. That shit is just, that's scary, bro. Like, that's legitimately scary.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
and like it really does suck that like in a scenario like that, like some random, like, I guess I don't know if it's like quote unquote random because like they were there, but like a firefighter just happened to lose their life. So it's like something like that is incredibly tragic. So it's like that is what's disheartening to me, is that like politics ends up leading to things like that, which is why I don't like talking about politics or being anywhere near it. So
I agree.
I hear you. But it
honestly sucks to be involved with.
It does. But we have made a commitment to our fans that we will touch on those tough subjects. So that's exactly what we do here on
I will say,
yeah,
we did get like top 5 hardest president pictures of all time.
That shit was crazy, bro. They already got that shit on t-shirts.
We also got top 5 best memes of all time too. Sometimes
low key, bro.
It's crazy,
a lot of good memes.
Bro.
Wake up, Joe. All right, guys, that is. I'm just kidding. That was one hell of an episode. Now you're probably wondering, well, damn, man, we really enjoyed this. How can we support you? Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, but before can we end on a lighter topic? Can we end on the fact that did you see that someone is bidding $500,000 to do a gaming session with Pokimane? Can we talk about that?
Is that
can we talk about how crazy that is? Yeah, that's actually a real thing.
Why can't they do that shit with me? I actually know how to play games. Hold on.
That shit's crazy.
I actually know how to play games. It's crazy. Oh my God, it is real. Someone just bid $500,000 to play games with Pokimane. Good grief. $500,000 just to play?
Yeah. And like it's for a good cause, because I think it's like for a immune deficiency Foundation
Okay,
fundraiser.
well,
but
that's
like,
nice.
it's, it's still insane though. Like, you gotta
Choose
admit,
that picture.
because like you gonna be playing games with this.
Low key.
Okay.
I'll play some other games. Listen, let me tell you something. That is, if they are acting, whatever games they end up playing, it needs to be streamed completely. Wow, that is crazy. That's a lot of bread right there. I had no idea that was going on.
Rich people get free clothes, bro.
Rich people got a lot of stuff. Now, how much? Do you guys have a gamer that you would pay like an exorbitant amount of money to play with?
No.
No. Not even.
There's not even a famous person I would pay. There is no. I'm just not paying anybody anything to do. No.
Now,
Bro.
what if we're talking about like we could bring somebody back to life and play with them? Is that different?
No, I wouldn't even do it.
Who are you bringing
Your
back?
life means nothing.
I would
0 per.
All right, calm down, low tier. All right.
I would like to play basketball with Kobe Bryant. I feel like I'd get a lot of mentality tips on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's legit.
How much are you?
Golden mentality.
$500,000 for that?
If I had it,
you're stupid.
I mean,
that's invaluable, honestly, to me.
If it only costs $500,000 to raise a nigga from the dead, that's probably easier than gathering the Dragon Balls. So,
bro, that's fucking crazy to me that you guys would pay that money for like a session, bro. Honestly, God, I'm about to open this shit up on Metafy, see how much someone pays.
Are they still around?
I don't know. That's a great question. I haven't done it in a while.
You know what is around though? Ways to support the podcast. Guys, real quick before we get out of here, check out Advanced GG. From today through the 19th, we are running a super special. When you use code LIGHTSOUT at your checkout, you can get 30% off of your purchase. Not 10, but 30% off your entire purchase. Advanced GG, it helps you focus. It's exactly what Cosmos used to get that tough top 8 that you saw him perform at Super Smash Con. Or at Smash Factor. I'm on that stuff right now. I can't even focus right now. Because I'm transcending through time. I done spoiled. I leaked the list. At Smash Factor. That's what Cosmos used. And of course, listen, I already know some of y'all like to get freaky, a little nasty. Protect your online privacy with Surfshark VPN. Use code EVSUVPN for an additional 4 months on top of only having to pay $2 a month to get that protection, okay? Keep it sticky, keep it icky, but make sure you keep that code on you, EVSUVPN. Thank you. Well, that's it for me.
500,000 is insane.
Episode.
I'm
baffled.
Gentlemen, is it safe to say we're back?
I'm back. I'm back in top 8. I can tell you that. I'm so back.
Would you pay $500,000 to put light on your podcast?
No,
Shit,
I just DM Mars.
Oh,
that's fine by me. You could use a little vanilla.
Low key. Speaking of which, let's get back to swiping. Anyway, look, I'm just kidding. Guys, it's been a great episode. Lights Out, episode 66. The boys are back in town. We're bringing it all around, and you already know it's about to go down. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because as per usual, the boys always bring the vibes. We'll see you next week for another episode. Thank you for watching. Take care.